everyone. Welcome to Rags to Riches. As you know, I'm Serenity, and we have another great, brilliant trader, friend of mine, Cyril Keir. Thank you, Cyril, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How you doing today?
Doing good, buddy. So this is our pilot show, the first ever, and so it's going to be interesting. I'm just trying to see who's all here real quick. So I see Yabonk's in the audience. Hey, Yabonk's, good to see you, brother. And beyond that, let's see, private chat. Okay, speakers. Okay, so real quick, guys, if you're having audio issues, if you're hearing an echo from me, let me know. Cyril, how do I sound? Do you still got an echo going?
Let me see. Okay. Yep, there's an echo.
There is an echo. Okay, I may have to, let me try turning this down. How's it sound to you guys? Hi, Mike. Good to have you here, buddy.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3.
Anybody? Yes, maybe?
No more echo. We're good.
No more echo. So I probably had you just a little too loud. Okay. And unfortunately, I'm hard of hearing, so if we end up with a lot of echo problems, please let me know, and we'll modify that accordingly. So, Mike, great to see you. H31, great to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Yabonks, yo! So, I'm not watching this on YouTube. I sure really do that because sometimes that helps to see who's in the audience and stuff. So this is going to be interesting. So first of all, let's go through what is Rags to Riches, in case you don't know. Well, this is a concept that I've inspired my entire journey into crypto, into this whole down-home crypto aspect, everything about it, because I found over the years that the plan I worked at, the people who work day to day, most of them just live check to check. They have no financial future. They have no idea how to do it. And most of them think if you don't have hundreds or thousands of dollars to invest, you can't succeed. It's just not going to happen. So after teaming up with Cyril, an experienced trader, somebody that I know and trust and believe in, we came up with the idea that we want to show everybody in the world, regardless of your financial status, regardless of your education or what you do for a living, we don't care. What we know is for as little as the cost of a couple pizzas, 25 bucks a week, you can change your world. Now, we don't guarantee you're going to get rich. We don't guarantee you're not going to lose it. We make no guarantees whatsoever. But what we want to do is prove to the people of the world that, yes, you can do something with just a little bit of money that can have a dramatic impact on your life. At least that's our goal. We don't know what the results will be. That's what we're here to find out. We don't know. But we want to take the next level because if we're doing it, we're making the choices, it's not really helping you. Because our goal here is to teach and educate. This is not a channel to shill. We're not going to be pushing projects. We're not going to be promoting things. In fact, we're not even going to be the ones picking it. Truth is, you guys are going to pick it. The ones watching, the audience. You guys are going to pick what we invest in. Now, Cyril is being generous enough to put forth that $25 every week. But with that comes the set of Cyril's rules. And what do you call those rules, Cyril?
Rules of solvency.
Rules of solvency. I love that. That just rolls off the tongue there. So, you want to give us a quick rundown on your rules of solvency, Cyril?
Yeah, so there's quite a few different rules, and they have been written in red over my years of investing. Your music got really loud during that.
See, that's weird. You got really quiet. Okay, let me kick that down. Okay.
Yeah, so my rules of solvency have been written in red over many years, right? I've been investing in the stock market for nearly 14 years now. Been in blue chip cryptos for 9 and in DeFi for almost 5. And I've had a lot of losses and I've had a lot of wins. And I find that by having a set of rules that you are disciplined and you stick to, it can save you a lot of headache. It can protect you from a lot of those losses. And so we're going to be exercising those rules and learning about them through the course of this series.
Okay. And yeah, for some reason, keep getting quiet. I may have to move the headset if this doesn't work out or if we get too much echo, guys. Please let me know there. So the rules of solvency, those are actually pretty good because most of us, well, I don't want to say most of it. I don't want to talk to anybody else. Me personally, I was raised with the concept is you go to work, you take a little bit of your check and you put it in savings or something like that, and you build up. You pay your bills and do that, and you wash, rinse, and repeat. And maybe after you work long enough and you put enough in savings or something, you might be able to retire. You might be able to do something. But actually being taught how to invest, how to take profits, how to do all this stuff is something I was never taught how to do. So when I got in the crypto space, I was very much lost. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like gambling to me. I just throw it in. What happens? Well, that obviously it hasn't worked well.
Yeah, it's sorry, you froze there for a second. We're good. All right. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things for a lot of people in the space to do is actually take profit. It's easy to hold and diamond hand your way all the way down with a project that you're in. It's another thing to have a plan and a strategy for taking profit so that you can actually make money, because that's why we're here ultimately, right? You know,
Right.
whether we're here for the community or for building or whatnot, at the end of the day, everyone wants to make money.
Exactly. And that's one thing I always found. I mean, it's a weird feeling, and this is how I've experienced it so far in my journey through crypto. Is say I put $50 into a project, well, it goes up a little bit, maybe it doubles. Okay, it goes to 100, and immediately the greed kicks in. The emotion's like, oh my god, that's great. I'm going to take it to 1,000. That's wonderful. Oh, it went down a little bit. That's okay. It's fine. Hey, it went down to 50. That's okay. It was already up there. It'll go back up. Next thing I know, I got $5 left going, it costs more in gas to take it out. It's okay. Well, that didn't work. What's next? And I think that's one of the problems that a lot of people have is we've lived in such at least here in America, a lot of the people I worked with stuff lived in the concept of lottery tickets, scratch tickets. You go buy a $10 scratch ticket, you either win or you lose. There was no in between. There was no lesson to teach me, hey, if it goes up just $1, that's a win. Take it and walk away. And so if it goes down, it shouldn't go to zero. You should be able to stop it before it hits that 0 point. And so that mindset was never taught to me. I never knew how to experience that.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people struggle with, right? And when you're dealing with small amounts, like $25 a week, you have to take your wins where they come, right? You're not going to sit here and take $25 to 1.4 million. You're not the guy who bought PayPay when it first launched, right? You're just not. Sorry, none of us are. That's the way it is. That's it. That's insider stuff right there. But we can grow in amounts. And what you guys need to learn if you are dealing with smaller amounts is you need to focus on percentage gain, not dollar value gain, percentage gain, right? You go and you open a checking account or a safe savings account, and you're going to make 0.2% a year if you're lucky. Maybe if you have a high yield savings account, you'll make maybe 1.5–2%. But that is very small compared to what you can do with some strategic investing and taking profits. You have your different target levels, right? And you DCA your way out as it's going up, because one of the things a lot of people do is they're afraid to sell because it might keep going up. And in one of my rules of solvency, it specifically states you need to be okay with knowing that after you sell, it will still 2x in value. If you're not okay with that, get out, because you don't belong here, right? You need to understand you're not going to catch the top. Don't sit there and try to catch the top. Your goal is to catch the momentum, right? So if you have $25 in and you buy something and it goes up, $5 in value, I mean, you just grew the account essentially 20%. Take your profit, close it. You're done. Sell it, and focus on the next thing. If you just plop your buy in and you leave it there forever, eventually you'll wind up being one of the ones who goes to zero.
Right. And that makes sense. And that's one thing that I found very difficult to understand. Fairly recently, I had an experience like you're talking. I was able to get in something on a whitelist, and as soon as it launched, I was able to start selling as it was going up and even selling as it was going down. And then by the time it went through that spike, like every crypto project does, I came out quite a bit ahead. I mean, I turned like $20 into like $300 in just the matter of less than an hour. And I didn't understand how that worked because I was always under the concept that I have to leave it in to make money. And so by your teachings, by your guidance in these rules of solvency, I learned that no, DCA in, DCA out, and you come out on top. It was really amazing. So yeah, I can say thank you, Cyril, because your lessons taught me to do that, and that's why I really wanted you here. Because, like I said, I was a gambler. I still am a gambler. But that lesson of turning $20 into a few hundred in just less than an hour was absolutely mind blowing. And that's what I'm really hoping we can teach everybody here today, and we can do this as a family and as a community.
Well, kudos to you. Great job on putting that into execution. A lot of people, they struggle with that, right? I mean, there's a reason why over 80% of retail traders never actually turn a profit, you know.
Really? Wow, I didn't realize it was that high. I mean, that's some scary numbers. So, up until that occurred, I never really thought you could change your life with $20 or $25. I just didn't think so. I thought, well, I got better luck buying a lottery ticket or something, even though it's 1 in 500 billion. And so I kept playing that for years, and I've done that for 30, 40 years. So out of curiosity, I mean, we have no idea what projects are going to go into, but just from your experience, knowing what the DeFi world looks like, what do you expect we're going to experience here in the next few months or by the end of the year? How do you think this is going to play out if you had to take a guess?
Yeah, so if I had to take a guess, it's a little early to make that kind of prediction since we are just getting started.
Right.
And entirely because we are investing into the crypto market, we could get lucky. It could shoot up. We might, stay relatively flat for the year. We might lose some money. That's what we're going to find out. And we're going to see if by taking what the community votes for us to put our $25 a week into winds up growing, utilizing the management style of DCAing in, DCAing out.
Okay. No, and that's fair because yes, it is early. We don't know what the market's doing. The world's changing, legislate. It's crazy. I'm really hoping to see by the end of the year from the total amount we put in, I'm hoping to see a 2x. That I would be ecstatic if we could double it by the end of the year. Because I know we're going to lose some. I know we're going to gain some. I know it's going to go back and forth. And the wildest part is that we don't control it. We don't get to pick it. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, and honestly, a 2x, that's a 100% gain, right? Show me where in regular traditional finance you're going to get a 100% return on your money. Real estate, the return is between 2 to 15%, right? If you're lucky.
Right.
When you have high interest savings accounts, 2%, you're not going to get that kind of return. So if by taking small amounts of money, we can do that. You got to think patience. That patience and discipline are the two skills that you need to succeed as a trader. And so if you have the patience to let it grow, that, actively manage, follow a set of rules, take your profits, DCA your way out, find good investments, and you double it, well, guess what? Then you can roll that into the next year and double it again. And after a couple of years, I mean, it's the whole, would you take a penny doubled for a day or a million cash now? And it turns out, a penny doubled every day for a month winds up being significantly more.
Really? I did not know that. I've never done the math like that. I mean, I was one of those where if I walk to the grocery store, I'll step over a penny to pick up a dime or a quarter, a dollar, sure. But you're telling me that really I should be picking up those pennies. That would make a difference in life. Okay.
Well, if you doubled a penny every day for 1 month, it would get you $5,368,709.
From a penny.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Okay. You convinced me. Okay. So I want to say, hey, welcome, Cameron. Good to have you here. And now this is going to be interesting. So let's go through the rules because as you guys know, I am not the responsible one. I am not the one who's calm and collected and patient. Yeah, that's not me. That's totally him. So he is going to be managing the wallets. He's going to be tracking all this and dealing with all this. But we're going to do it right here on camera with you guys. So let's go through the rules real quick, just so we know we're all on the same page. So let me bring this up here real quick. And you can run us through this here on how this is going to work, Cyril.
Yeah, absolutely. So every week, that $25 that we're going to be investing, we are going to be putting 20% of that into native blockchain tokens, i.e. the blue chips, right?
Right.
So we'll see some going into, wrapped Ethereum, some going into Matic, some going into wrapped BTC, etc. But this way, you get in the habit of knowing, okay, I should take a percentage of what I'm investing and I should put it into long-term, slower growth, but more guaranteed kind of growth, right? That way you have a stable base that you're building up. Then we're going to take 80% of that and we'll be investing it into the projects that you, the community, vote for. So that's the start right there.
Okay.
And Serenity, I think I figured it out. On
Oh,
your
good.
end, whenever you would tell me that my audio is getting quieter for you,
Right.
What's happening is the music is getting louder. So like as my audio is going down, the music is getting louder to the point where I feel like I'm almost shouting over top of it.
Okay, let me just kill the. I'll kill the background music. We'll see what that does. No, that's great. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah.
That works.
This is the pilot show, guys. So if we have any technical issues, I do apologize. We will be doing this every week, and so we will fine tune it as we progress. So yeah, please put your comments in below. Let us know what you guys are experiencing, what your thoughts are, because this is what we really want to know. Is this something you're interested in? What are your questions? What do you think? What do you feel? This is what we want to know, people. So please share them in the comments below.
Exactly. It's an interactive show. The pilot show is going to last, around 40 minutes, maybe an hour. But moving forward every week, it's going to be about 30 to 40 minutes. That way, it's a short thing that you can tune into on a Friday night while you got your beer in hand, or maybe a little. But that way, it's not going to take up a ton of your time.
Cheers.
Right? Cheers.
There you go. And for everybody that knows me, you guys know that me an hour is like never happened. But Cyril has told me that if we cannot go longer than an hour, he has a life, and I get it, and I respect that. So I'm going to really try to keep this to an hour. Now, there may be an after-hours party later that goes the rest of the night. We don't know. But yes, Rags to Riches, we are going to keep this to an hour, guys and gals. So definitely put this on your calendar and just plan this, because this is where we're going to learn these lessons as we grow, as we evolve into smart financial investors, because that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to learn these skills and understand how they work. And I really want everybody here to do the same. And even if you're not investing, and that's the biggest thing, is this will not cost you a dime ever. I mean, literally, Cyril is doing all that way. He's over there. He's putting the money in. It's not even costing me. And so this is one of those, we want to show you that yes, it can be done or it can't be done. And also which projects are good, which ones are bad, but we're not going to show. You guys get to tell us.
Yeah, so do me a favor and don't make sure you guys all aren't voting for like blatant rugs, because this is, my money I'm putting in every week. So I'd kind of like to not lose it all, but ultimately the power, aside from the blue chips, is in your hands. But what we will be doing is we will let you guys pick which blue chip as well, right? So you get to pick which blue chip we're hopping into that week, because they don't all stay 100% correlated, right? Ethereum's been going down, BNB's been staying pretty stable, so it's kind of like you got to pick which one has the most growth potential for that week to, roll in for the blue chips. So
that makes sense. And so, no, and that's great to understand. And now, as far as we call them blue chips, but we're actually going with the native blockchain token, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any blockchains that are off limits?
Here's the thing. When you are dealing with such small amounts, you want to pick 2 or 3 blockchains and stick with it, right? If you start having to bridge money over to a whole bunch of different blockchains, one, you're over diversifying your portfolio, right? Remember, diversification is for protecting wealth, not for building wealth. You don't diversify a whole bunch when you are just starting out. You got to pick a couple of really good things and put your money in.
Okay. Now, if you would, sir, on that, sir, explain that a little bit better, because that's one thing we hear about diversification all the time. They say, spread it out. That way you're guaranteed to make something. But you're telling us don't spread out too far. You're saying, spread a little bit, not like this, but just like this. So can you give us some examples? Why is that good or bad? Or What's the strategy behind that?
Right. So if you don't have a lot of money, right, and you over diversify, one, you're increasing the amount of time that you're going to have to spend checking in on all your investments, following all those different projects, following all the news, all of the upcoming alpha. It is very time consuming to over diversify, especially during the early stages. And plus, if you have, let's say we took our $25 a week and we chopped it into 5 different projects. Okay, so now we're putting $5 into something. So you might have a couple of projects. Let's say some of them go up a little bit, some of them go down a bit. You've made nothing, right? But if you trim it down to 3, maybe 4 solid projects that you've taken your time and done your research into, that have good long-term growth potential, then your money is going to grow better because you have picked a couple of good winners. Maybe one of them doesn't pan out the way you want, and so that one goes down. But ultimately, you're exposing yourself to higher growth potential, because if you spread it out a whole bunch, then you are rolling the dice on all of these projects succeeding instead of just these 3 or 4 that you've picked, right?
Okay.
So,
and that makes sense. And that's one thing that, when I first got into it, I was like, oh, I'll put $20 there and $50 over here and $10 here. And it was everywhere. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing? I didn't make anything. I just spread shit all over the place, and I paid a lot of gas fees, and that was just stupid. So, yeah, these are lessons that I had to learn the hard way, and so I'm glad that you're teaching and promoting us to kind of guiding us. I'm not going to say you're going to tie our hands, but you're definitely guiding and coaching us in the right direction.
yeah, I mean, I'm still finding money tucked away on different wallets that I forgot about back when I first got started, and put some here, put some there, put some there. But once you have wealth is important for the same reason why it's not helpful in the beginning, right? Remember how I said, some go up, some go down, but you stay relatively flat. That's
Right?
how you preserve wealth that you already have while still allowing yourself a smaller percentage growth, right? But that holds you back early on because you stay relatively flat. If half of them go up and half of them go down, then guess what? You've made nothing, right? But when you have a couple $1,000,000 and you don't want to lose that, but maybe you want to have some of it working, maybe farming, earning, etc., then you can diversify, and your underlying assets will stay relatively flat. Meanwhile, you're earning from some of them.
Okay. And that makes sense. And that's one thing, like my wife is big into gardening and stuff. So she'll get like one plant and put it in a pot, and it'll sit there. And as it grows, then she'll take that, split it into 2, and maybe put it in a flower bed. And it'll sit there for a couple of years, keep growing. Then she'll go into like a whole garden. And so you're saying same kind of thing. Start small and just slowly build it out instead of saying, okay, take this and split it amongst everybody.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Good safety tip. This is something I didn't know, obviously, in the beginning. Although it is kind of nice to find random money lying around like you're talking about it. That doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, I found like $480 chilling in a wallet on like the Arbitrum network that I've forgotten about. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It'd sit there. I had it farming, right? So
Okay.
it sat there, and I think it earned me like another $120 in wrapped ether. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Especially with ETH down. Now all of a sudden it goes back, it's to an all-time high. Yeah, that $400 turned into a whole lot more in 2 years from now. So
Yep.
pretty cool. So, okay, well, let's go through this real quick so everybody understands the rules and the concepts. So now, like you were talking about, there has to be a strategy in place before you start to invest.
Yes.
As far as taking profits or getting out of it if it's going bad. So if you would walk us through these numbers so we understand exactly how this is going to work and why it's going to work this way.
Yeah. So if basically you want to have a plan, at what profit percentage are you pulling some of your initials out? DCA out. Everyone says DCA. For those who may not know what that term means, it means dollar cost average. So if I am buying something at $1 and then I'm buying the same amount at $2, my DCA is $1.50, right? Same principle applies. You buy in increments, you sell in increments. And you are going to be looking at the momentum. How much is it going up to take your profits, right? So in the little rules that we have right there, those are not the rules of solvency. That's our rules of profit taking. If the price goes up 2x, then I'm going to sell 25% of my holdings. If it goes up another x, so to 3x, I sell another 25%. If it goes up 4x, then I sell another 25%, and it saves me with a little moon bag of 25%, right, of my initial purchase. That way, you're securing profits, and even though you secured it, some of it at a 2x, some of it at a 3x, some of it at a 4x, by doing that, you're securing a 3x return, right?
Okay.
That's your DCA, and that's why we do it. That way, we're not selling everything too early, but we're also not holding it too late.
Okay, and that makes sense, and that's what you're talking about. You know, a lot of us try to go for that peak. It's like, well, no, don't take my 25% yet. Wait till it goes up more. That's where you're saying no. Have a strategy, have a plan of attack, and follow those rules. That's the discipline you're talking about, not the gambler like me.
Right, because nobody knows where that peak is going to be, right? You know, you can do technical analysis till you're blue in the face, but guess what? You're never going to be 100% accurate to cash out at the peak. You know, prior to this recent bull run, I had predicted a high of 55K on Bitcoin. So I started selling at like the 45K region, and I started DCAing my way out. My final sale on it was at around 62 to 63K, right? Because it went up to about 60, what was it, 68K and change? Yeah, just under 69. Nice. So my DCA out wound up being right around my total target high of that 55K, because you never know. Is it going to spike past that? Is it going to hit resistance before that and then start going down again? Which is why our little 25% remainder in the moon bag right there that you see at that bottom line of the rules, that 25% that we have remaining that we haven't sold yet once it's 4x'd, if that drops 50%, we sell that 25%, right? So if it's gone up 4x and then it comes back down, so now we're 2x on it, we sell it. And guess what? We've almost 3x'd our money. And we're done. We move on to the next one. One of the biggest mistakes new investors make into DeFi is they get married to their investments, right? You don't want to marry it. It's your one night stand. You're out at the bar. You saw an investment that looked pretty hot in that dress. And so you bought her a couple drinks. But guess what? You know, get your money and get out. Don't get married to it. That's not how you grow a portfolio, for, you know, especially if you can only do like $25 a week, right? If you've got plenty of money to play with and you believe in the long-term, you know, value of a project, then sure, you can do that. But when your key focus is growth, and that's going to be the focus of this particular series, don't get married to it.
Okay, and that makes sense. And that's one thing I know I've been guilty of several times, whether it's because of the team or the community or whatever. I didn't want to be the guy that's like, well, I believe in you, but I'm still taking profits. It seemed kind of wrong to me. And yeah, I think that's my problem is I got too emotionally attached to either the community, the people, the project, whatever it was. And eventually they've all burned, every one of them. So it's like, okay, well, that didn't work so well.
Right. And instead of having however much you could be having right now, you have.
Exactly. Big goose egg. So, okay. Now down here it says if it drops 50%, liquidate and move to the next investment. So, okay.
So if I buy in at $1 and everything goes down to 50 cents, cut your losses, get out, right? You either A, bought the top, or B, you bought into a falling knife, right? You know, there's a proper chart should have ups and should have downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. If you buy in and it goes do, 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 then you need to cut your losses, preserve the capital that you have, and buy something else.
Okay. And so one thing that I've started to learn is that sometimes not losing is winning.
Right.
So I may not make a profit, but I didn't totally lose. So that's still a win, right?
Yes, yes. It's a good way to look at it, right? And what I like to do is, especially when someone is newer and they're learning the ropes, is I tell them, if you experience a loss, did you learn something from it? What did you learn? What can you do different in the future? If you learn something, then it's not a loss, it's tuition paid.
I like that. That sounds good. Yes, education is not free, and sometimes it's not even cheap, but it is valuable if we learn. Now, if we don't learn, to me, that's a definition of stupidity. Repeat the same action, expecting a different result. It's like, yeah, no, that is just dumb.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I took the time to create my little rule book that I follow. You know, every time I experienced a loss or made a mistake, another rule would get added. You know, solvency rule number 14 states that if you are feeling the urge to brag about the gains that one of your positions has made, it's time to take profit on that trade.
Ooh, I like that. That's good. Okay.
So if you have a trade in and you're taking a screenshot of it to send it to your buddy to say, "Yo, look how much I'm up," take profit.
Very wise. I got to ask now, did you come up with that rule because there's a point in time you did that, didn't take profits, and it wrecked, and you went, oh my God, that was stupid?
Yes, the very first project I bought into in DeFi.
Okay, I won't even ask. We'll leave it at that. It's a learning lesson. Yeah, we've all been there. We've all done that. I know I did that where I used to do a Saturday class with a family where we'd sit out there every Saturday, go through DeFi projects. I'm like, look, this project is making $2,000 a week. I quit my job in 3 months. And then 3 weeks later, it was a train wreck and bled to death. It's like, oh, well, that didn't work so well. Yeah.
I watched it, and thankfully this has not happened to me since because I learned my lesson, right? But I watched as a $3,600 investment went up to about $112,000, and then deteriorated back down to 3,600. At which point I sold, and I essentially wasted about a year of time that I was invested in that protocol.
Oh man, that's painful. Oh,
Yeah.
follow the screenshot, send a friend, and take profit. Yeah, good idea. And yeah, sounds like you Bonks is doing the same thing. Why is a man there, Bonks? And this is one thing I'm trying to learn, and hopefully we can teach everybody out there to do to really make a difference in their life.
Absolutely.
Telling people that one for years. See, you Bonks, and you say you're not wise, brother. You are very wise. And anybody watching, Yabonks here is an amazing friend of mine, another content creator, does an awesome show, had him just before this. So I highly recommend go out, check out his channel, love him to death.
Yes. Much love to Yabonks. He's a fantastic individual.
Absolutely. And this world is not easy. And so us content creators, we kind of stick together, especially the good ones. And so, I'm going to show myself for a sec. If you would, please take a moment, like and subscribe to this if this information is helpful, if this is something that hopefully you're going to learn from. Because now we're going to get into the rules and situations of how does the community get to vote. Because as we talked about earlier, we're not making the choice. I don't get to choose the crypto project. Neither does Cyril here. No, you guys get to choose that. So how are you going to do it? Yeah, I know. We just get to talk about it. You get to spend the money. And man, thank you so much for your generosity in doing this. And I really hope that we can change people's lives. And I hope this is one that we can get the people who are construction workers. They cut wires for a living, like I used to do, or build houses or work at McDonald's, whatever it is. It doesn't take a fortune. And that's what we're here to prove. And Cyril's willing to do that. So Cyril, thank you so much for your generosity, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let's get into the rules, guys. Not the rules. Sorry. Too many buttons. So how do you go about voting? Well, actually, that's going to be really, really easy. So I have set up a Down Home Crypto Discord, and I'll bring that over here real quick. And so this is one everybody's free to join. And so you do have to go in and register. But once you go into the Discord, and you can talk about pretty much anything, is you go down here to Rags to Riches, vote here. Once you click on that, it's going to give you the voting board. And as you can see, this is for June 2nd as it currently stands. You can either vote for any one of these that are already listed, or you can always click the plus and add the project you want to vote for. Now, you do only get to vote once, so make a wise choice. Now, the cutoff will always be the Thursday before the stream. So the next stream is it the 3rd? Or no, 2nd. And so that means the cutoff would be the 1st. And you may ask, well, how do I get to that Discord, Serenity? Well, that's a great question. And if I could copy that right there and paste it right there. There you go. And that should be an invite to the Down Home Crypto Discord. For anybody who doesn't know, the reason I call all of this Down Home Crypto is because the concept is I wanted not only the community of Discord, but also the entire YouTube experience and your education to be a comfortable one. Not a high pressure, not a, oh my God, you must do it this way, you must go by this. No, I want this to be a feeling of we're all sitting around in our living room, we're having a drink, we're vaping, we're smoking, whatever, we're comfortable. I don't want this to be a super high pressure or a must follow these rules. And so that's why we're willing to let you guys vote. We'll follow our rules and see if they truly become beneficial or not.
Sounds good.
That sound good to you, Cyril? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes, absolutely. Before I put that, love you too, Yabonks. Thank you, brother. And thank you for being here, my man. And yes, definitely check out Yabonks. His animal sanctuary is awesome. I love to put my animal pics over on his Discord. Great community. So there is the Down Home Crypto Discord. And so you go in, you do have to verify. And if you guys find any problems in the server, please let me know or let Cyril know. He's an admin in the server as well. If something doesn't work right, we have problems. If you have scammers, not a problem. We will absolutely kick, ban, clean up, do whatever's necessary because we want to make sure it's a comfortable environment for everybody to go in. And I don't care what you know or what you don't know. That's okay. Go in and ask whatever you want. Any question, you got that look.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that you gave me admin rights over there.
You're like, wait, I do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. Yes, you are an admin, Cyril. I hate to tell you, buddy. You have God rights over there. But like I was saying, there is no stupid question. If it's a valid question you don't know, and if that's as simple as, what's a MetaMask wallet? Hey, not a problem. Ask it. We will help any way we can. If I haven't made a video about it in the Zero to Hero series, educational series I do here, then I will make sure to include that in future video. The biggest thing is we want to teach you guys and gals how to change your life. And it doesn't take a fortune. It takes a little bit of work, a little bit of research, and a little bit of faith, and a whole lot of patience. And that's it. Bonks is doing a 5-mile run right now. Damn, buddy. I would be dead at the end of 5 miles. Man, my hat's off to you, brother. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've covered the voting. I think we've covered the Discord. I did have a couple questions I wanted to run through, Sarah, on the... Back. Whoa, you froze. Why are you frozen? No, you're not back yet. I think we lost Cyril. He broke it. See, this is why we can't have nice things. Okay. I can hear your voice. You're just... Oh, there you are. Okay, now you're back. Yep.
Oh, okay, good. I think something happened. It's been really windy here today, so I think something is going on with my internet. I keep losing bars, but anywho.
Okay, so I think we've covered the basic rules. And guys, if you have any questions about how this is going to work, why it's a good thing, if you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a stupid idea, please let us know. If you think there's a better way we should do it, please let us know. We definitely want to get your guys' input, and this is really about helping you. So any advice, any suggestions, throw them up on the screen. I am happy to share them. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you think. Stop being a mechanic, change my... There you go, Bobtail. I feel you, brother. For those who don't know, I was a heavy line mechanic for GM, and I became a Subaru Senior Master Tech. Turned wrenches for 12 years. Man, I salute you. It is a tough job. I still can't feel my knees from crawling around in concrete, and my hands are still all trash. So, yes, that's what we're hoping to do, Bobtail. Thank you for being here, buddy. Let's see. 631NJ. Trying to add here to the poll, but I can't see the option yet. Do I have to refresh it somehow? So yeah, 631. I did notice that when I add something, it does take time to refresh. So I would say give it like 30 minutes or so and come back and check it. And if it doesn't show up in, say, an hour, shoot me or Cyril a DM and say, hey, this just isn't coming up. But I ran into that also the other day when I was adding XRP because I threw it on there just to see how the add function worked. Now, this may not be the best spot. This is the only one I've been able to find that with all the functions I'm looking for. We may end up getting a new poll bot in the future, but I want to get something set up so you guys could start voting and start participating in this. Summer, welcome! Glad you can make it to the party.
So my internet is finally back.
Hey!
It was out. Now, yeah. It was out this whole time. Yeah. Couldn't hear or see you. My thing froze. Yeah. I think we have a storm coming or something. But
well, the good thing is we only got like 15 minutes, so we're getting pretty close to the end because I did promise I would keep this under an hour, so I will do that. Bobtail, yes. Head gas. Yeah.
All right. So for those who want to follow along from like the blockchain scanners and stuff like that, that is the wallet address for the Rags to Riches. Serenity is going to paste that in here. There will be a spreadsheet report in the Down Home Crypto Discord. And what we're going to be doing is every week I'm taking $25 and depositing it into that wallet as USDC. I did precede it with a single Matic as a little donation for gas. We're starting it off on the Polygon network. And for this first week, we're going to be just putting it because we need more time for the poll, right? And for this video to explain everything, we're just going to be splitting it across 3 different blue chips. So 33% into one blue chip, 33% to another, etc. And then for our video next week, we're going to check and see how those did and see what we're at now. And then that's when the community vote taking place on Down Home Crypto's Discord will come into play for next week's purchase.
Okay. And I will set up a blue chip
I figure
poll voter thing. What? I'm sorry, I missed that. Did you say something, Cyril?
Yes. That way they can choose which blue chip they're buying into.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I do have to still set that up. I kept trying to fight with bots today, trying to see if I could find a better one or not, and that's the only reason why I didn't set up the blue chip yet. But I will get that set up. And remember, guys, blue chip, what we call it, is going to be the native token of that blockchain. So, yeah, we can list all those out. Finally stopped losing money. There you go, Bobtail. I agree. Crypto is much easier in a lot of ways. And I was going to say something and my brain went blank. You keep cutting in and out. I keep losing you or something there, Cyril.
Yeah, I know. My internet is freaking out. So let's go ahead. I'll do the quick screen. I'll do the quick screen share, show the wallet purchasing the 3 blue chips, and then we can wrap this up before my internet goes kaput.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. Because yes, we do want you guys to see how this goes, and please understand, out of that $25 is gas fees. So it's not saying $25 on top of gas fees. That's going to come out of this whole process. So if you want to follow along, if you want to copy what we're doing, I don't know if I'd recommend it. If you do, it's going to be $25. That's going to be our limit. Okay, is that? Nope, that's my screen. That's your screen. Okay.
$25 a week.
Yep.
So as you can see, we're here. Quick swap. We got our $25 right there. So we're going to be putting what is that broken into 33%? Hold on. 25 times 3.
$8.25.
Okay, so $8.25. So for our first one, we're going to go ahead and gotta do the approval, which is gas, right? So I gotta do the approval for that. 1 second. All right, it is approving.
So we need some circus music right now.
Right? That's probably the smallest amount of ETH I've ever purchased.
Some people have never
Okay.
purchased ETH because they can't afford it.
Well, it's a good thing that it can break down in all sorts of tiny bits. So, all right, we are swapping. Yay, success. Then we're going to grab some.
Quick swap, yes.
BNB. Good to have BNB. All right, so that would be another $8.20.
Right. Now, are you taking out
that
for the gas as we're going through, and that way it's not 8.25 on all three, but it's like 8.15 or something on each, or how are you calculating that out?
So for this first week, like I said, I donated 1 Matic worth of gas to get us started. Moving forward, we are going to have to factor in gas costs, which is why on the spreadsheet, it's going to show every single transaction along with the gas cost that it cost for that transaction. Because something everyone needs to get into the habit of is 100% always track every last dollar, right? And we're actually left. We're doing the 825. We're actually left with 25 cents of USDC. So that actually covers the gas.
Okay. Gotcha. And yeah, that's one thing I know I'm very guilty of is I throw $20 at something and I don't think about the gas fees. I don't think about the approval fees. I'm like, it's $20, give or take, 5 or whatever. But then you start dealing with Ethereum or something. It's like, whoa, the gas is $50. Holy hell. That's yeah, it's life changing. It gets real ugly really fast.
Yeah, it can. It definitely can. And where is, hold on, let me see something. View on Block Explorer, share this tab instead. All right, so this is our wallet, right? And as you can see, we got our Ethereum there, we got the BNB, and I guess it hasn't shown up our BTC trade yet on there. Yeah, it should be in shortly.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and add that to our wallet in the meantime. But
okay. So this first one we got Ethereum, BNB, and Bitcoin.
Correct. We got some wrap BTC because again, since it's on the Polygon network, it's all going to be the wrapped version. We got our BNB, our wrapped BTC, and our wrapped Ethereum. And that, let me see if I refresh this and it will show. There we go. There's our BTC, our Ethereum, and our BNB, which on Polygon doesn't show the price, but hey.
Okay, that works. So one thing I do want to ask you, I'm going to bring you back up here, because there's one thing that probably newer investors may not realize is they may think you have to go buy actual BTC. They may not understand what a wrapped BTC is or wrapped Ethereum and why you're not on the Ethereum blockchain buying that. So you want to break that down just real quick for us?
Yeah, so a wrapped version is basically, for those of us who are old enough to remember, the dollar bills used to be a wrapped version of gold and silver, right? Where you could then take it and exchange it for that. That is essentially what a wrapped token is. If the Ethereum token is native to the Ethereum network, but people want to be able to trade it on these other blockchains, what happens is when it gets bridged out, it gets deposited into a vault, and then a wrapped version, another token, is then sent out to the blockchain that you are looking to transact on, in this case, the Polygon network. Now, we can then take that wrapped Ethereum, send it on back to the Ethereum network if we want, and, swap it for an equal amount of actual Ethereum. But this way, we can get Ethereum without paying, $30-$40 worth of gas.
Right.
Since we're using a small wallet.
Absolutely. And that makes sense. And that's one thing that people may not realize is yeah, you can still invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that and not pay the stupid transaction fees or go through a central exchange and all that. It's a dumb thing. You can still do all that in the DeFi space, have control, and not pay astronomical fees. So
Yep.
definitely wise. And now, just for absolute clarity, in case you're wondering, yes, the price of Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain and Wrapped ETH, they're the same.
Yep.
It's not like one's like way more. It's the same thing. It's just on a different technology. So don't think that you're getting some cheap knockoff or something of, well, it's not real Ethereum. It really is real Ethereum. So yeah, no weird shell game going here.
Yep. And then I'll be posting the link to the spreadsheet when that's completed, right there in your Rags to Riches section. If you want to make another room there, for the spreadsheet and all that. But that way you
as an admin, you can do that too, right?
Yes.
I'll work on that. I'll try not to break it. No guarantees. I'm not a Discord master. So, guys, I'm warning. If you do have Discord problems, let us know, because it means I probably broke something more than likely. It was probably me.
Yeah, but thank you, everyone. And I hope that you place your votes so that we have, some interesting things to invest in next week. And I hope you join us every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, moving forward as we explore our journey of going from rags to riches.
I love it. Thank you, everybody. Cyril, thank you, brother. And guys, if you have any questions, jump to the Discord, ask questions there, post them here, leave comments down below, and let us know what you think. And is this beneficial? Is this helping? And what could we do to make it better for you? Because that's what we really want to do. We want to help you help yourself. I mean, that's what we're going for here. So thank you, everybody, for your time, and have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.